I need to be honest with y'all. I'm thinking of doing something pretty insane, and I think you should know about it. All right, so before we get into this big, insane, crazy idea that I've been having, I want to update y'all on one thing real quick, and that is that I am going to be going back into the sales department here at Holiday World. So if you've been following me for a little while, you know that I actually switched roles and took an internet sales position, which basically meant that here at my dealership, it was my responsibility to take all of our inbound internet leads and phone leads and things like that, as well as anybody that contacted me from YouTube or Instagram or TikTok, and basically set appointments for people to come into the store, get them set up with a salesperson to find the trailer for them. Well, as great as that has been, I ran into so many instances where I had people reaching out to me from either YouTube or TikTok or Instagram that wanted to work directly with me, which I completely understand, and I really, really appreciate everybody that, you know, finds value in my videos and chooses to trust me in helping you find your right RV for you. And I want to be more involved with that. I didn't like that I had to take those people that, you know, people like you that are watching that wanted to come and get my assistance in finding the right RV and having to trust somebody else to take care of them the same way that I would. And that, it just wasn't, I don't know, something about it just wasn't sitting right with me, and it wasn't what I wanted. So I've decided to go back into sales, which means not yet, because they do need to find somebody to fill my position that I'm currently in. But if somebody does contact me in the future looking for an RV off of YouTube or any of that stuff, I will be able to help you out directly when you come into the Holiday World store. So excited about that. It's, I think, a much more enjoyable experience for myself and a much more fulfilling and rewarding experience. And I think it is for y'all as well that choose to come out to Holiday World and give me a chance at finding you the perfect RV. So that's update number one. Now let's get into what I'm really here to talk about. And I'm kind of scared to put this into the universe, and I actually think I'm going to turn around and start walking back because I'm just getting into a part of the lot that there's no reason for me to walk into. So we're going to walk back the other direction. But I'm scared to put this out into the universe because when I have bigger ideas or bigger life-changing ideas and I start talking about them openly with other people, and especially when I go and decide to post something like it online, it's almost inevitable that it's going to happen at that point. So I know that once this video is uploaded, it feels like I'm setting in stone what my future is going to be based off this decision. And that decision that I'm thinking of making and have been thinking about for a little while now is I think I'm gonna live out of a travel trailer for a year, or at least a year, and try it out, see what it's like. My family has always had travel trailers. They just got their first fifth wheel. When I say my family, I mean my dad and that side of the family. So we started in pop-up trailers when I was like, I don't know, a teenager, 12, 13 years old, something like that. And then we elevated up to travel trailers, and then they just got their first fifth wheel. So I've been around them. In the 2 years that I've been working here selling RVs, I honestly never thought I would buy one myself personally. And I guess my mindset and my thoughts about it have changed, because I just feel like it would be fun to try. It would be fun to give it a try and just commit to it and see what opportunities it brings about and see what kind of lifestyle it can, you know, possibly provide that's different from what I currently have going on. So this is me throwing it out there in the universe, and I'm pretty excited about it. I don't know a time frame for when exactly it would go into place, but I think if it is something that I'm going to do, it'll probably be before the end of the year. And I'm not 100% committed to this idea yet, but I would say I'm over 90 which is pretty significant. So this is me sharing that news here for the first time, putting it out into the universe. And with that being said, I want to show you the different options that I'm looking at right now. We have, obviously I'm going to buy it from the dealership that I work at, not only because I work here, but also because I undoubtedly believe that we have the best service policies in the country, especially for somebody that would be living in their RV full time. I mean, we have a campground on our facilities, which I walked by earlier, that our full-time RVers can stay in. If you have any sort of issue with your RV, like say it's the middle of summer and your AC goes out, or your refrigerator's not working, water heater's not working, things like that that would prevent you from using your RV the way that it's supposed to be used, you can stay in our campground. And then if you're living in it, instead of having to get a hotel when you bring it in for service, we can actually work on it during the day and then set it back in our campground at night so you can still stay in it. And that's just one of the things we do. We also offer trip interruption for all of our customers, which means if you are a customer that bought from us, you get front of the line service at our service department. And we have that same policy with 130 different dealerships across the United States that we're partnered with as a part of Priority RV Network. So those are just a few things and a few of the reasons why I would, especially if I was living in one full time, would choose to buy from Holiday World regardless. Because I tell everybody, and I know this going in, buying one myself, they only make two types of RVs, ones that are broken and ones that will be broken. So I know at some point in time I'm going to have a problem and I'm going to need to rely on somebody else to fix it. And I want to make sure that I buy from somewhere where I know that they will get that taken care of promptly and quickly, especially if this is going to be my home, because I do not want to get caught having to be in a hotel. So I trust Holiday World to take care of me in that way, not just because I'm an employee of theirs, but because that's what our service policies are for every customer that buys from us. So with that being said, I want to show you the different models that I'm looking at. I'm only looking at travel trailers. I've already ruled out fifth wheels because I just don't think I need that much space, one. And two, I personally just do not want to be that financially invested into what this decision is. So kind of counterintuitive to what I would inform most people of when they come here and people are saying they want to live in something. I usually always point them in the fifth wheel direction if they have the means to do it. But for me personally, I think there's plenty of travel trailers that offer enough for what I need, and those are what I'm looking at. I'm probably going to need to upgrade my truck if this is something that I'm going to do and take more seriously and travel around with. Right now I'm driving a Toyota Tacoma, and a lot of the travel trailers I'm looking at are at least going to require a half-ton truck, and some of them a 3/4-ton truck. So that's something I have to look at as well. And this is an interesting thing because it's putting me in, I'm in your shoes now. I'm in your shoes. I understand all the pains of everything. I think I just spit out of my mouth. But anyways, I understand all the pains that y'all go through trying to find the right RV and all the things you have to think about. So I totally understand. I'm in your exact same position right now, trying to sort through all of it. There's so many things I got to get figured out to make this happen. But I'm excited. So with all that said, let's go check out some of these travel trailers that I'm looking at as potential candidates to live in. These two right here are going to be some of my honorable mentions that I have ruled out. At first, I was looking at something I could tow with my Tacoma, and I just decided it's just not going to be quite enough space for what I want. But like this, No Boundaries was something I really liked, as far as just, it's a rugged looking off-road type travel trailer that has quite a bit of space. I mean, it could be comfortable, and it has a big size bathroom. So I love rectangular showers. That is definitely preferred for me over a corner shower. But I think single over single bunks serve very little purpose for me. And there's just not quite enough space in this one. Although I could tow it with my Tacoma, it's just, I'm not willing to do it. So I ruled this one out. The one next to it was a little bit bigger, and there's quite a few different brands that make something like this Keystone Passport. The Cougar makes something just like this as well. And these ones are ones that are pretty much right on the cusp for what I'd be able to tow. Because the issue I'm also having is I have motorcycles. And if I do travel around, I want my motorcycles to be able to go in the bed of the truck, which means I really have to pay attention to that payload capacity on my truck. And a lot of these travel trailers with their hitch weight, plus the weight of my motorcycles, will set me over. So that's where I get to the point where I'm like, okay, I have to just upgrade the truck. But this here was not a bad option. I think I could live in this comfortably or something like this. First and foremost, for me, I'm like, I need recliners or something. I do not want a booth dinette and only a booth dinette. But I think I could live in something like this comfortably. I think it has enough for what I need. But if I would already have to upgrade my truck to get into something like this, I might as well just go up a little bit bigger. These are also both pre-owned units, which brings me to the whole new versus pre-owned discussion, where I think I would prefer pre-owned if I could find it, but I'm not going to stop myself or prevent myself from getting what I want just because I can't find it pre-owned. So if I find something that I really want, which I'll show you some new options that I'm looking at, I'll get it new. I'm not going to sit around and wait to try to find a used one. So these are two used ones that I rule out that were honorable mentions. From here, I'm going to go in order of size as best I can. These are two pre-owned options. Now, this Transcend is a pre-owned 2021, and this Mallard is a pre-owned 2020, so still fairly new. Both of them have things that I like, things that I don't like, and that is definitely something that you will encounter as you're shopping for an RV, is no RV is perfect. There is no such thing as a perfect RV. It does not exist. So if you think you're going to find something that's perfect, I mean, you may be spending your whole life searching, because I don't think the perfect one exists. You'll always be able to find something you don't like, and you'll always be wishing you could put this piece of this trailer with this piece of this trailer with that piece of that trailer and put the perfect one together. But that option is just not out there. So I have to get my mind off that idea and understand that I'm going to have to make compromises in one place or another. But this is a Heartland Mallard M25, I believe, 2020. Let's see. Yep, M25. Now, what I'm looking at in this one is, first of all, small TV, doable, but I'm also thinking, okay, I could just put that TV down. You see how you have the ledge here? You could build something on this side that's equally as tall, and then you can put a larger TV all the way across. So that defeats that problem right there that I'm seeing immediately. Also, I would prefer recliners, so those would go, and I'd put recliners in. But I love the floor space in here. It's a single slide out unit, so it's not too heavy. And then in the bedroom, there's so much space in here, like so much room to walk around the bed, which I really like. The entrance in and out of here really makes no difference to me. You have a place for a TV. It has a flat line roof, or it's like ever so slightly barreled. That does make a difference to me because I'm 6'2", so I would prefer more of a barreled roof, which some of the other options we'll look at will have. So that's another kind of downfall to it. But this one actually is going to be one of the best price points for what I'm looking at, because it is pre-owned and the quality that you're getting for what the trailer is. Another thing I'm not a huge fan of, just for living in full time, is only having pleated shades. So that's another thing I'm looking at on this one. Like, okay, that I might need to fix or change. So there's things in all of them that I realize and understand that I am going to have to change for what I want. So that's this Heartland Mallard rear kitchen. Not a whole lot of countertop space, but definitely enough. And let's head over to the Transcend next to it. Take a look at that one. I think I like the Transcend just a little bit better. It is a little bit more expensive than the Mallard, but it's a little bit bigger, a little bit longer. It is a Transcend 265 BH. Now this one I have some interesting thoughts on for what I would do with it if I was living in it, because it has bunk beds in the back. So I'm already looking at this like, what if I took out this top bunk, took out that mattress, and had like elevated seating up here? Like I could put chairs up here or bean bags or something like that, and just get rid of this whole top bunk completely, because I will not ever need that. Or at least, I shouldn't say ever, but in the short term, I definitely wouldn't need it. But other than that, this floor plan is freaking awesome. I really like it. You have a jackknife sofa here, so you can sit 2 to 3 there, and you can sit 3 more here. I look at this like, okay, if I'm going to be in this, full time, this is something I could lay out on or have the recliners. All 3 of these will recline. More countertop space in this one than the other one. Now, again, kind of confined to the space that you have for your TV, because if you start going to a bigger size TV, it's going to extend out over this cabinet. So limited with the TV size, which is something I'm always concerned about, always thinking about, because I would prefer to have a larger TV in my living area. So that is something that I still have yet to kind of figure out how to overcome in this particular model if I were to choose it. But what I really like about this one is the walk-through bathroom. So you have all of this countertop space in the bathroom, all of this floor space, rectangular shower, which I already mentioned I really like. And these walk-through bathrooms for me are the most preferred out of anything. Doesn't have a whole lot of bedroom space as far as just floor space in the bedroom compared to something like the Mallard, but it's pretty standard for a travel trailer. And another issue I'm seeing on this one that is probably going to rule this one out for me, even though I like it so much, is it is a 30 amp unit. So it only has one AC, and I live in Texas, and I don't think that's going to work. So this is one that I really, really like and thought about for quite a bit. And then when I realized it's only 30 amp, I literally just realized that. I just ruled this one out because 2 ACs is too important to me. So if they made this in a 50 amp version, I'd be all over it, but that's gonna rule that out for me. Or if I was just using it for camping, I could still probably do just fine, but for living in it, not gonna work. Another honorable mention is this Outback 260 UML. I think this one has a lot of features that I could easily find myself living in comfortably. It is just priced out of my price range. It's not something that I want to spend that much money on because the Outback is a very premium line. So I priced myself out of this one, but it is another honorable mention. Next is the Keystone Bullet 291 RLS. This one is very high up there on my consideration. It is longer than any of the other ones we've looked at so far. It is a 50 amp unit, although it only has one AC on it right now, so I would have to get a second AC added on. But you have your 2 recliner chairs here, your rear wall window, so you get a nice view, windows all the way around. Love the idea of these recliner chairs. I also like the idea that if you wanted to put different kinds of chairs there, you can. Biggest thing that is deterring me from this one is you have a boxed in TV space here that is pretty small, and that is, again, you know, would be stuck with a smaller TV, and I'm trying to figure out how I could implement a larger TV in here. I have had people suggest maybe just putting a bigger TV in the bedroom on a like really shallow type of table or something like that. I don't know, but that's something I'm trying to work out. I like on the 2021 models, so many of them are coming with the 10 cubic foot refrigerators. This is something that I would certainly prefer over a pre-owned model with a 8 cubic foot refrigerator. But obviously I'll have to pay a little bit more to buy something new that has a little bit of the nicer features. Again, a walk-through bathroom, which I really like. Rectangular shower, which I really like. Barreled ceiling, which I didn't point out. But you have more of a barreled ceiling in here, so you get an added ceiling height. I'm 6'2", so that definitely means something to me. And this one has probably the best bathroom storage and countertop space that we've looked at so far. So that is a huge plus. You see how much storage is in here. I mean, just so much storage. So really like that. And then the bedroom, pretty basic. It's nothing too exciting, but you can put a second AC in here, like I mentioned, and you do have nightstand areas back behind the bedroom. Plus, you also have a dual entrance and more storage right here. So this one is definitely a contender because of all those different features that it has, and it is very high up on my list. Definitely something I'm looking at very closely, and something that is probably in my top 2 or 3 for sure. Next, we have this Keystone Passport 2870 RL. This one is going to be the most expensive that we have looked at today, and the most expensive option we will look at in general. It does have a lot more standard features on it, like 2 ACs, 2 awnings on the outside, slam latch doors for your storage compartments. Trying to think what else it has that other ones don't. Oh, it has blackout shades inside. It's going to be heavier because it has opposing slide outs, which is going to give you a island kitchen in here. You see you have the dinette table, a legless dinette table, which I certainly prefer over one with legs, 2 recliners, and your sofa. And then I'm looking at this like, okay, because you have all this space here, I mean, if you wanted to take that dinette table out, which would be so easy because it's just screwed into the framing there, I mean, you have all this space to do whatever you want with. Obviously, you have to be conscientious of weight because it is in a slide out, but you have so much space you could use here to do whatever you want, which I really, really like. And again, continue running into the TV problem, which the last unit we're going to look at addresses that problem if that is something that is such a high priority for me that I must have a bigger TV, which I still have not decided. Big pantry in this floor plan. So much storage. I mean, look at all the drawers that you have in here. I think there's something like 16 different drawers in this floor plan. It's a 2021, so you have the 10 cubic foot refrigerator again. And just look at how, I mean, it's really beautiful in here. And this is with the lights not even on. But this, like I said, is going to be the most expensive option that I'm looking at. So that's something to keep in consideration as well. Because one of the biggest factors to this is like, I will not do this if it's not going to allow me to save money from what my current situation is. So that's, price is definitely something I have to be conscientious about. And going into the bedroom, lots of bedside countertop space. I mean, look at how far that extends out. You could put so much stuff there. And then you have a wardrobe closet in here as well. So this one checks a lot of boxes. Really, the only negative thing about this one is the TV size. Other than that, it is almost perfect. I mean, I really couldn't ask for more than that except having a bigger TV. Here is one that I actually forgot about because it's on the back of our lot here, and this is a Keystone Passport 2400 RV. Now, there's some things that I like about this one and some things that I don't. You can see on the outside here first, it has a huge awning. I mean, it extends almost the entire length of this RV. It is on the smaller side, which is more convenient. Obviously, you lose some space because of that. Has minimal seating because you'll see it only has 2 recliners in here, but I don't expect to have guests over or anything like that very often, so that's really not a problem. So much countertop space on here, though. I love that. And this actually has the same size TV as the last one that we came out of has. So big TV for this size unit. Fireplace, which I'm not worried about being cold. You know, I am just the type of person that I don't get cold very easily, so that's not something I'm too worried about. But look at this bathroom in here. Now, I try to think, okay, how much time would I actually spend in the bathroom, you know? But it's an awesome sized bathroom. And what I really like about it, in addition to the rectangular shower, which I keep pointing out, all the storage space in here. And this has washer dryer prep, which I have already decided I'm not going to go the washer dryer route as far as putting one inside my trailer. But if you wanted to, it's pretty dang cool that it has that option in here. I would just rather have this storage for my items than for a washer and dryer. But I love the countertop space in here. Obviously limited on seating. Because it is a shorter unit, it only has 1 AC, which I don't think would be an issue. But you can put a second one on here. It is a 50 amp unit, so I could definitely put another one on here. And this one is really a contender. You don't have any wardrobe storage other than just the bedside wardrobe in this one, so that's kind of a downfall to it. But because of all your bathroom storage, I would probably just store all my clothes in there if I were to go this route. This is one I think I could make work for sure, but may not be like my top choice. And then finally, this is going to be the last one that I have right now that I'm looking at. This one may be my favorite, but it's also the biggest. It is almost a 37-foot bumper-to-bumper travel trailer. It's somewhere right around there. It is more of an entry-level travel trailer in the Keystone Springdale, but it's a Keystone Springdale 331 RE. It has opposing slide out, so you have a slide out here, and then you have a super slide on the other side, which is going to give you more space in here than anything else that we've looked at, which I really, really like. I think I could take almost all of my apartment furniture and fit it inside of here. But it's a 2021, just came in, so it has the 10 cubic foot refrigerator. And look at all the space in here. I mean, this would be so hard to turn down. The only thing I think deterring me from this one is how big it is. But, I mean, there's so much space in here. I mean, the rug in my living room right now would fit on this floor. My coffee table that I have right now would fit in here. If I wanted to take this furniture out, I mean, I could put all the furniture I currently have and fit it in here. Oh my gosh, this one is really, really nice. Has the fireplace, has 2 AC units on it, has a barreled ceiling. Like I said, it's more of an entry-level travel trailer, so your furniture and stuff in here, your cushions are very basic. You're just gonna have the pleated shades. Not a whole lot of countertop space, but I can do with that. That's fine. When you come in the bathroom, like, you're gonna have a plastic toilet instead of a porcelain toilet. It's just gonna have your generic shower curtain, which I'm a pretty simple guy. You know, I don't need a whole lot. So I think none of that would really faze me. You can see it's not as, you know, residential looking. And then going into the bedroom, it's your same size bedroom. It's pretty much everything else. Have the AC in here, but it does have a wardrobe closet. So this one is probably also in my top 2 to 3. I just have to get over that size, the idea of the size difference, and also just knowing there's some construction, not even construction elements, but there's some, everything in here is just more of a basic build. It does have some really nice features in the construction though, like it has Dynaspan flooring, which is the same flooring that comes in your Keystone Montana, which Keystone has never had a warranty claim on ever. So I know it's good, it's built well, but there's some things I have to get over, you know, knowing that I'm looking at more of an entry-level one and something like this. And although it's an entry-level trailer, because of the size that it's at, it's still going to be at the same price or even more expensive than some of the other options. So something to consider there. But I really do like the space on this one and think it would definitely be something I could live in comfortably. So I got 2 questions for y'all because I want to know what y'all think. First of all, what do you think of this idea? Do you think it's something that I should just jump into and go for it? Or do you think it's something that I'm crazy for thinking about doing and should do something else? Have you had experiences living in an RV full time? What were your experiences like? Things like that. And then second, which one will you choose? If you had all the options that I just showed you, which one would you pick to live in? Now, obviously, I'm gonna be at the mercy of what's available when I'm ready to pull the trigger. I'm not the type of person that is going to sit around and wait for the perfect RV to come around. When I'm ready to pull the trigger, I'm just gonna pull the trigger on something that's currently available. So I'll be at the mercy of that. But if you had all of those options to choose from today and you were ready to pull the trigger and make the decision I'm thinking of making, which one would you choose? So let me know down below in the comments, but that's all I got. I'll let y'all know and keep y'all updated as far as my my thinking process as far as everything related to this topic. And I'm pretty excited about it. And I just want your feedback, want to see what y'all think. So let me know down below in the comments and let's chat down there. And that's pretty much all I got. Until next time, I will literally, hopefully, see y'all out camping.